not a game, it's a rich thing. It's not a game, it's a rich thing. It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! It's time!
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well,
Perfect.
happy Monday to you all. What is going on? ¿Cómo están? How's everybody doing today? What up? Happy Monday to you all. We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. It is also Monday, obviously, August the 18th, 2025. If you are new to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you are on what's it called? If you're on Kick, if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button as well. Hit that like or share, whatever it may be. But what's going on, everyone? What up? How's everybody doing today? How was your weekend? I can't hear you, but I hope it was a good one. For me, overall, look, a lot of stuff going on this week. I leave Friday for Europe. I literally leave here Friday at 7 p.m. That's when the flight takes off to Spain, and I get there Saturday at 1:33 p.m. So I'm gonna be jet lagged like all hell. Sunday's my cousin's wedding. And by the way, guys, happy Forbidden Door week for those of you out there who celebrate it. Just for one more time, I'll play the clip.
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well, oh yeah, it's going down this Sunday, and I will not be watching it live because I'll be in Europe. Obviously, I'll be at the same time it goes live. I'll be awake, but I'll be at my cousin's wedding, so I won't be able to watch it live like the rest of the world, all that stuff. So there is that, but I will try to catch the show back on a later date. 1 second here. There we go. Much better. But outside of that, I'm excited. I'm going to Europe a couple days, and then I'll be back in time for Clash in Paris. Now, as far as preview goes for Forbidden Door, it'll probably be Thursday. I'm aiming for Thursday to do a preview because obviously Friday I fly out. Obviously, I do fly out on Friday. So obviously that, guys, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, my apologies for that, gang. My apologies. I'm back. Had family member call, so I had to take the call here. I apologize once again. I know it's not professional. God damn, I know. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect, okay? But again, look, as far as preview goes for Forbidden Door, I'm aiming to do the show Thursday. I'm aiming for Thursday to do the preview for Forbidden Door. And I'll be honest with you, looking at the card right now, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go through this card right now. Let's go through it. These are some of the matches that were announced since Dynamite. So you already know you're gonna get Hangman Adam Page defending the AEW World Championship against MJF. As you guys know, Hangman Adam Page got MJF to cash in his contract. So that's how we're getting this match, and it should be a fun one for the most part. We found out who's representing CMLL. Persephone, I probably butchered her name, but that's fine. She's representing CMLL. Alex Windsor is representing AEW. Then what the fuck does Mercedes Moné represent? If she's also part of AEW, but whatever. But then you'll have someone from Stardom. Now, again, I don't know who it is, but hopefully it's someone, should be a fun match for the most part. I mean, this is, I guess, when you think of Forbidden Door, there's some matches that are like, okay, this really does feel like Forbidden Door. And also it's factor in. I love the fact that you're including Stardom and CMLL, but AEW, can you put their logos also on the top? Just in between the New Japan and the AEW logo. I'm just saying. They also announced for the show, Nigel McGuinness will be getting a shot at the IWGP World Championship against Zack Sabre Jr., who is the reigning and defending IWGP World Champion. Look, they're gonna be in London, so factor in, this crowd for this match will go insane. Do I see Nigel winning? No, but it's one of those situations where, hey, man, it's going to be some UK on UK crime in England. So there's that. And again, likely Nigel will play the hits, but he'll lose to Zack Sabre Jr. Also added to the show, they made this official. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are reunited and will team up to go up against Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. I'll be honest, I wish they would have saved this, like the reunion, that is, right? I just wish they would have saved it for All Out in Toronto, unless they're going to go for the tag titles, then so be it. But honestly, I just feel like it was kind of rushed, in my humble opinion. All right. And of course, they also announced this. I don't know if you guys remember or not. And yes, I can possibly see that. I can see Daniel Garcia turning on Nigel McGuinness. As you guys know, he did lose in that fatal 4-way. He did lose. So again, maybe him still being the sore loser. But if you think about it also, right? Didn't they have 2 years ago, obviously Jack Perry turned on, was it on Hook when he lost against Sonata for the title? So we're gonna run this back again. But again, when Daniel Garcia turns heel, I can tell you this right now. This is the exact reaction you're gonna get.
Exactly, no pop.
Not a fuck will be given. Not a fuck will be given. But I digress. Also on the show, they made this also official. If you guys recall, for the last couple of weeks, they've had Darby Allin put notes on Wheeler Yuta or Wheeler Useless or whatever the case may be. Forbidden Door, implying that he wants Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door. And if you guys saw, Will Ospreay made an appearance on Dynamite, and he said that he's ready to go. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, he said he had herniated disc. He needed some time off. Man, I don't know what they put in that medicine in the UK, but we could use some here. Yes, the most non-Forbidden Door card ever. Where is the New Japan Star Power? Barely represented in mostly an AEW show. I agree, Romeo. Oh man, by the way, yeah, come on, this right here, crossover right here. Kyle Fletcher defending the TNT Championship against Hiromu Takahashi. There's some star power there. Junior heavyweight star power, but still, you get I get what you're saying. I get it. But if you guys remember, right, all that happened, right? And Will Ospreay came out literally this past Wednesday and announced, that's right, a lights out steel cage match. So basically, you have here the Death Riders of Claudio and Moxley, Gabe Kidd, who I thought was out hurt, unless he recovered, I don't know, and the Young Bucks, to go up against the team of Darby Allin. So fuck the fact that Darby challenged Moxley fuck that idea, right? Okay. Will Ospreay, who I thought, look, was going to be out for a hot minute. Doesn't look like it is, right? And then you also have the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, who we have not seen since All In. You would have thought, hey, man, Kenny Omega might want his unified title back, or his international championship. Nah, nothing. Just put him in this match. Nobody will bat an eye. And of course, Hiroshi Tanahashi, who will be wrestling his final match in the UK. This is part of the Tanahashi retirement tour. And you guys know Tanahashi's legs they're not what they used to be. He's not the man he once was, but he's still the ace. Why are we putting him in this situation is beyond me. It's crazy. It is fucking crazy. Okay? It is. And yes, I agree, T and Couponer. I bet Moxley will bleed first. I 100% agree with that. There's a big possibility that Jon Moxley bleeds first in this match, for sure. But that being said, yeah, man, it doesn't really feel like Forbidden Door. It doesn't really feel like it. I know also I didn't mention this, but I'm sure you guys know by now you're gonna get Swerve and Okada for the unified title. You're gonna get Mercedes Moné, obviously, in that fatal 4-way. Timeless Tony Storm against Athena. Oh, that's Forbidden Door right there. Ring of Honor and AEW. But they're both signed to AEW contracts. I get what people are saying. I do. There's not that oomph. Like, I remember when I went to the first Forbidden Door. Okay? That was Forbidden Door. The first Forbidden Door in Chicago at the United Center. This, look, you'll get a big pop because it's in the UK. But outside of that, it's like, okay, what else? But again, I will not be watching the show live because obviously I'll be at a wedding in Portugal. And I will likely rewatch the show when I land back in the States. So there's that. Now you guys know. All right. But now if the boys want to do an honest review once the show is over, hey, they have full permission. They have my blessing. Okay. But just so you guys know, honestly, I take that back. The preview for Forbidden Door will be on Wednesday after SAD. After SAD, we'll do preview for Forbidden Door. So Chief, Alan, channel members, you know the drill. You think they should move Forbidden Door to October, somewhere further from G1 tournament? Yeah, I think this year, though, let's be honest, because the fact of, they didn't want to go back to the UK for All In. They're like, all right, but we'll give you Forbidden Door. We'll give you a Forbidden Door show. So there is that. But at the same time, it's like, you can make it Forbidden Door. Just that right now, New Japan doesn't have that. Like Romeo said in one of the earlier comments, there isn't that star power right now. There isn't. And it sucks because you look back, look at the stars that New Japan once had, right? You had your Okadas, you had your Tetsuya Naito, Tanahashi, you had your Kota Ibushis, right? You had Will Ospreay, right? And now, I'm not saying, and again, you're talking to someone who's not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not, like, if you give me a New Japan pop quiz right now, I will probably fail it. I'll be honest. But based on what I'm seeing, it's like, yeah, they, the stars that they have, Yota Tsuji, Shota Umino, Iomura, like, again, and not that they're not ready or anything, it's just not the same from where the other stars were. Some of them are now gone. They're in AEW. Jay White's another one. And there's that excitement right now. Are they still trying to make Evil a main eventer? I would guess so, Draven G. If your guess is as good as mine right now. Yeah, New Japan is basically rebuilding after AEW raided them. Hey, man, They won't be the only company that's going to get rated. I'm telling you that much right now. They will not be the only ones. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But what I do want to get into is TripleMania that went down this Saturday on the YouTube channel for WWE. They were also live on the AAA YouTube channel, and they were also live on the WWE Espanol channel. Now, keep in mind, I was watching the show, but I was also watching UFC 319. Just keep that in mind. Oh, one more thing I want to do here. There you go. There you go. There you go. I watched both live to the best of my ability. I thought overall it was a fun show. You know, I thought overall AAA was a fun show. You could clearly see the difference in just how it just shows you, like, you watch this Saturday, you can clearly tell, yeah, man, this is a WWE influence on the show. Compared to other years, if you've watched AAA back in the day, the difference is night and day. Completely. Like, don't get me wrong, like AAA over the years has always been that shit show. And I don't mean shit show like, man, this is the worst show I've seen. No, what I mean is there's always been that whole little like, what the fuck type of moment on the show. And I feel like this past Saturday, the show was just a complete revamp on the vision that WWE wants for AAA for the most part. But let me know your thoughts in the chat. Did you like the show? Did you hate the show? You know, hola, told what's going on, Universal. This was my first time watching, and damn, they hate Vikingo. And there's more to that, Draven. It's not because Vikingo's terrible. If it's your first time watching El Hijo del Vikingo, you know that he's good. The problem is he is the guy that WWE chose to be the face of this new AAA. Like, he's their guy, but he's not the guy of the people. If you get what I'm saying. The people, they want Alberto Del Patron, Alberto Del Rio. That's who they want. I know there was during Conan's Hall of Fame, people were chanting for Alberto, and Rey Mysterio said, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can to bring him back in Spanish. I think for the most part, though, so he's basically 2015 Roman Reigns. In Mexico, you could say that. In Mexico. But when he comes to the States, dude is over as Rover when he comes to the States. Well, before this whole thing with WWE, but if you ever see them at an indie show, if you see them in like AEW or TNA, like, you know the guy could go, right? It just so happens that Vikingo was chosen by WWE to be the new face of this new AAA. But for the people who watch AAA in Mexico, for the Mexican audience, their guy is Alberto Del Rio, Alberto Del El Patron. That's their guy, right? And the reality, of the situation, is the fact that that's who they want. They want Alberto. But obviously, the American fan base, and this is the part where I'm sure y'all could tell, they do not give a talk about the Mexican audience who were at the show, who watch in Mexico. They do not give a flying fuck about your feelings. They do not give a flying fuck about cancel culture. Keep in mind, this is the same AAA, the same company who was booking Marty Scurll. If you know, you know. Chances are they probably would have booked Joey Ryan. And I'm sure you guys heard about Joey Ryan trying to get his foot back in the door of wrestling, and fans lashed out a couple of weeks ago. It is already signed, and I heard Alberto has been signed as well. I don't know about that, buddy. Likely, look, I'll be honest. I do think they're going to bring him back, but he'll only do AAA. You're not going to see Alberto in a WWE ring. Granted, let's keep it a buck here. I am aware this is the same WWE who brought back Brock Lesnar. Fully aware of that. Okay? But this is only in Mexico. Could you imagine if they were to bring Alberto to the States? All the backlash. Oh my God. People would just lose it, man. He's probably not helping his case over there when he told Mexican media that he's ready to move to the States. Was this Vikingo that said this, or was it Alberto? Raven, please let me know. No League of Nations reunion. Nah, that's not happening, brother. That's not happening. You already know IWC is going to have a day when they bring Alberto to AAA. Yeah, but that's going to be from Mexico, though. Like, he's not touching the U.S. I mean, Grant, he could come to the States, but he will not be on WWE television, if you get what I'm saying. But again, it comes to show you that in Mexico, the fan base, they don't give a fuck about cancel culture or wrestling being a safe space. They don't give a fuck about that. No. Like, I think Alberto worked an indie show over the weekend. And my God, the reaction he got is insane, bro. Dude got this big, and granted, they were like, it looked like they were in some like Coliseum building or whatever the fuck it was. Wasn't AAA, wasn't CMLL. It was like some indie Mexican show. And it was just, wow, dude got a big pop. Could you compare AAA crowds to ECW crowds? The passion. But I feel like the ECW crowd were more into like, we want blood. We want all this shit. Like, we want the extreme hardcore. You know, they want that. And I'm not saying that they don't want that in Mexico. I'm sure there is some, you know, there's a fan base for that. But as far as the passion goes, yeah, you can compare passion for 100%. But let me get into the show. Overall, I had a fun time watching the show for the most part. Again, like I mentioned before, you could clearly tell this was a WWE produced show for the most part. So the show opened up with a Copa Bardol match, which is basically their take on the Royal Rumble, but it had 14 people in it. And in my mind, I'm like, how come they didn't just put 15? You know? You know what I'm saying? But to each their own. One of the highlights here on the show, you had Otis show up and team up with Pimpinella Escarlata, who is in Exotico. And yes, Pimpinella Escarlata was trying to kiss some of the wrestlers. I did see the footage of Triple H seeing it and all that stuff, and kind of funny for the most part. We had Microman and Omos. My God, bro. Microman and fucking Omos, bro. Having a stare down, bro. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. And obviously, you know, Omos winning the Battle Royal. People that were in this match, Abismo Negro, Aerostar, who you might remember from Lucha Underground, Cybernetico, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wall from LWO, La Parca, Laredo Kid, Mecha Wolf, Microman, Octagon Jr., Pimpinella Escarlata, and Taurus. Taurus was also in this match. And Mortos on Twitter say, "Oh, I'm setting up the lawsuit now." Also, another thing you'll learn in Mexico, when someone leaves, in this case, for example, Taurus, right? We all know Black Taurus originally was Mortos, right? So when he left to go to AEW and joined, I guess, CMLL, he had to become the Beast Mortos because he couldn't carry the name Black Taurus because it was owned by AAA. So AAA basically had someone replace him, and that guy, whoever it is under the mask, is going now by Toru. That's what they do in Mexico. They find someone to replace, to put under the mask. That's what they do. It's natural. Totally natural. WWE did sign Microman. I did hear about that. Omos would eat Microman. Yeah, they did. Yeah, he would. I love the Corey Graves did his homework and told a mini brief story of every luchador in the battle road. That too, man. Like Corey Graves did the damn thing on Saturday, bro. Shout outs to him, bro. One of the best to fucking do it right now. Shout out to Conan. I felt like Conan was better here than he was in the first Worlds Collide show. That's just me, of course. And then you had JBL, who had some lines here that I chuckled at, right? But overall, look, man, you knew Omos was going to win. You just knew it. Like, yeah, man, Omos won, and he did. And I'm not surprised by it at all. I was not surprised. I mean, again, when he showed up, like, you just knew, like, it was happening. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. versus El Macias, where obviously, Hijo Dr. Wagner did recapture the title. El Macias, it was crazy to think, right? This guy was Mil Muertes on Lucha Underground. He was also, who was it? Freaking Judas Macias in TNA. Like, dude's been around, dude. Still in amazing shape. I did love his Doom mask. I did love that whole like entrance, his gear that he wore to the ring. But it was an okay match. Nothing to really go crazy here. Again, you're talking to someone who's not knowledgeable. Let's put it that way. When it comes to the Lucha Libre scene, like CMLL or AAA, I'm not, But what I do hope this show did, it got new people to tune in. You know what I mean? So there's that. But you did also have the Judgment Day of Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez go up against Lola Vice, Mr. Iguana, and Nino Hamburguesa. And the one moment that we saw in this match, bro, the one moment, Finn Balor pulling out the puppet to challenge La Yesca. JBL referred to him as El Demonito. As you can see there, he ate La Yesca. And by the way, yes, T and Couponer did mention this in the chat earlier. You can actually, where is that at? Yes, WWE Shop has the Finn Balor puppet for $100, and then you also got to factor in shipping and handling. So you're probably looking at about $115 when it's all said and done. That's pretty much what you're looking at. But for the most part, the match was fine. The Judgment Day did pick up the W. You got to keep in mind, too, like the Battle Royal, or my bad, the Rumble match that they had, Omos wins. So we got to give a win to the WWE person. The AAA Latin American title match, we'll give it to a AAA guy. The 6-person match, yeah, let's give it to a WWE guy, to the WWE folks. You had Psycho Clown and Pagano against Los Garza. I thought there was a very fun match. It had Psycho Clown and Pagano winning, so we even things out here, right? You had Flammer, Fabia Pache, and Natalia. Natalia came out to her indie gimmick. I thought this match was it was there. Nothing to go crazy about, other than the fact that Flamer did get the win. The heel referee was there too, by the way. So there was that. And then we had the main event. You had El Hijo del Vikingo versus Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano. Now, going into this, I'm like, yo, 100%, Vikingo's dropping this title. A lot of people, let's be honest here, were saying, oh, they're going to probably give it to Dominic. They're going to probably give it to El Grande Americano, right? That was people's expectation here, right, going into the show. And I'll be honest, factoring into like, yo, Dom and El Grande Americano got a big reaction in Mexico. I mean, El Grande Americano was singing. And I find it crazy to think that there's a lot of people who said, oh, the Mexican audience are going to hate this gimmick. They're going to find it offensive. It's racist. Nah, not at all, bro. People were into it. People were into it. It looked like there was a moment there we all kind of thought Dominic had this match ready to go, double champion. Then AJ came out and cost Dominic Mysterio. And this led for El Hijo del Vikingo to pick up the W, and he retains. And yes, he's getting booed. He is getting booed. That's not going to change. That is not going to change. You know what I mean? Unless he embraces the shit. But I mean, other than that, like, look, I said this before. AAA right now, they have a champion. In this case, it's Vikingo, and it's not the guy that they want. Yes, he did. That's right. Dom got the shirt with the Virgin Mary with Liz's face on it. Yeah, he did. 100%. But also, I want to see if I got this picture here. There you go. Obviously, El Hijo del Vikingo is still the champion. But they also did an announcement as well on the show. They also announced that it will be Worlds Collide. It'll be taking place Saturday, September the 12th, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is going to be on a Friday. This is literally after SmackDown. So if you're on the West, if you're on the East Coast, this show starts at 10 p.m. Likely will not end probably till midnight here in the East Coast, maybe 1 a.m. Keep this in mind too. This is also the weekend of Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford. That'll be taking place at Allegiant Stadium September the 13th. So, yeah, let's do a wrestling show on the weekend of Canelo Alvarez fighting. Yeah, makes sense. Cool. And it's official. It will be El Hijo del Vikingo versus Dominic Mysterio for the Mega Championship. So likely that is where yeah, exactly. That is there you go. Mexican Independence Day. That's right. Indeed it is. So you had a guy, a flamer, and a guy with a puppet named Marijuana. LOL, funny shit. Yeah, bro. I mean, look, man. If you didn't like the show, bro, that's fine, dude. So I don't know, like, what's the questioning here, bro? If people thought the show was fun for the most part. Keep in mind, I had an edible that kicked in. So keep that in mind, But yeah, man, I agree. It's a busy weekend for sports that week. It's going to be a busy weekend. And also factor in, bro, for me, hey, look, man, soccer season is back, bro. I know for a lot of y'all, it's going to be NFL season going to be kicking in real soon. A lot of y'all are excited for your teams and all this stuff. For me, though, bro, look, man, I'm just excited. Soccer season is back, Premier League came back over this past weekend. La Liga came back. Can't wait for Bundesliga to come back. Serie A to come back. Hit these soccer parlays. Cannot fucking wait. Cannot wait. But we're still not done yet. We're still not done. A couple more things I do want to discuss here. Also, it was reported as well, coming out of Collision on this past Saturday, Ace Austin is officially now all elite. It's good for him. Good for him. Hopefully they do something meaningful with him. Indeed it was. Worlds Collide, free on YouTube, buddy. Love it. Fucking love it. I'm just saying this too. Look, man, if it comes to a point where we don't know, like if Peacock will keep the rights to the library and stuff, honestly, put it on YouTube. I don't mind them putting these shows on YouTube for free. Yeah, you can make money off the monetization, but put these shows on YouTube? Sign me the fuck up. Why not? All for it. By the way, AJ Styles should have been banned from ringside for the Dom and Vikingo match. That is true. It's crazy to think too, right? Like, AJ Styles, right? This year alone, wrestled at WrestleMania, right? Lost to Logan Paul. Not surprised, right? Never a doubt. Appeared at Slammiversary and endorsed, Leon Slater. and over the weekend weren't TripleMania. That's insane, dude. They do. Yes, they do. They do have a WCW and WWE. They have a WWE Vault and WCW Vault on YouTube. Yes, they do. And I cannot wait for them to drop the ECW Vault. And they also have the NXT Vault as well. But and on other news as well, let's get into this as well. So over this past week, there have been discussions of TNA. Now, as you guys already know, WWE's PLEs are moving to ESPN in 2026. The UFC got to deal with Paramount, right? And I talked about that last week, right? But now there's word going around. This came from John Alba, I believe, from Sports Illustrated, that TNA is also looking for a new media rights deal. And there have been discussions that WWE might be the ones helping them get this new media rights deal. They're suggesting that it could end up being on the CW channel or maybe something like Peacock or A&E, right, for the most part. And there's also been discussions of TNA open on moving their show to Wednesday nights and go head to head with AEW Dynamite. Will WWE help put TNA on Wednesday night to compete with AEW? It would seem that way, right? Like I was just going to get into that. Many people in the community right now are like, man, yo, they're going to go to war, man. The Wednesday night war's all over again. It's going to be WWE, not bad, it's going to be TNA versus AEW and all this stuff. And I'll be honest with you. You know who I feel bad for in this situation? TNA. I feel bad for TNA. Like, look, they do need a new media rights deal because anything will be better than what the fuck they have on Access TV. In my humble opinion, right? So if they can land on a CW, good for them. Good for them. It just so happened that they're going to have to be good boy and go, sir, yes, sir, to WWE. That's the reality of it. They're going to have to go, sir, yes, sir, for WWE. They're going to have to, in this situation, it feels like, yo, whatever WWE wants, that's what they're going to do. And it sucks. It fucking does. Now, I know a lot of people have said this. I've seen this discourse online as well. You know, this whole idea of them going up on Wednesday nights head to head. Look, if they can put out good stories, interesting stories, it could work. It could totally work, right? For TNA. But to sit there and say, oh, we're going to go head to head with AEW, no. First of all, there's already way too much fucking wrestling. And look, I get it. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm a wrestling fan, right? You're a wrestling fan. You're supposed to love this shit. I get that. You got Raw Mondays on Netflix, Tuesdays, NXT on CW for whoever watches it, right? Wednesdays, Dynamite. Thursday, it's TNA Impact. Oh, my bad. Also on Tubi, you have Evolve, right? On Wednesdays. You have MLW somewhere in between for those who watch MLW. Then you have Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Collision, and then the PLEs in between and pay-per-views. Like, bruh, even for me, it's like, yo, at some point, like, yo, give us a break. Give us a fucking break. I hope both companies can inspire each other and have a better product. I agree too as well. I hope they do, do better. I do hope so. I've seen people online too say, oh, why is WWE doing this? It's very petty counter program because there's also talks of them, I guess, doing a show. What is it? The weekend of Forbidden Door. I think they're doing Heat Wave as well. I think I saw like it's going to be Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan versus Jada Parker to see who faces off against JC Jane. And they're also going to be doing a show, I guess, all that weekend. Some people are saying that's going to be Brock and Cena. Look, is it petty? Yes, it is from WWE's part. And I've also heard people say this too. I said this also. You know, there's a reason why they're doing that. There's a reason why WWE is trying to do all this. And I've seen people say, oh, it's because, you know, they're trying to like, you know, take away all the momentum from AEW. I get all that. Is it silly? Yes, it is. Because I've said this before, there is no war. This idea that, oh, we're in battle mode, we're this. No, there isn't. Despite what the sickos will tell you. You know, I feel like right now, AEW, they're doing their thing right now. And they should stick to that. And WWE should stick to the same thing as well. Because right now, like, I'll be honest, these past couple of weeks, Raw and SmackDown have not been hitting. They have not been hitting at all. I really do wish, like, yo, make these shows more interesting. Make these shows more interesting again. Can we do that? But look, if WWE wants to help out TNA get a TV deal, cool. By all accounts. There's even been talks of Lorenzo Fertitta getting involved. The guy who used to own the UFC. I don't know how crazy that it'll be crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree, Couponer. Holy shit. Yes, they missed an opportunity with King of the Hill. We get like one, and again, Grant, I'm sure I know they can't do it because it's, you know, animated, right? But nothing with the green screen, with, you know, oh, fucking hell. With Bobby or Hank, nothing, bro. Nothing. It's crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. But this whole thing with TNA, look, I just feel bad for them. I do, because I feel like, WWE going to use them as the sacrificial lamb to let them go up against AEW. And in the event, if it doesn't work out, we tried, and now we're going to buy you out. Because I do think there's somewhere in their agreement that, they could end up buying TNA. I would not be shocked I wouldn't be shocked. If it happens, I won't be shocked. Yeah, would not be shocked at all. But look, like I said before, if they're trying to get this TV deal for TNA, so be it. Because anything is better than Access TV. But this whole idea of, yeah, man, let's make Tony's life a living hell. That's what it seems like in the eyes of a lot of people. And I've even heard people say too, WWE fired the first shot years ago, when Triple H at the Hall of Fame called TNA a pissant company, which could be true, but I don't consider that the first shot. To me, at that point, let's be honest, AEW wasn't even an established company. Yes, they were a company by name, right? But they didn't even have a show yet. So at that time, they were considered by a lot of people at the time a t-shirt company. Remember that? Remember when they were referred to as a t-shirt company? I do. And then after that, again, people said, that's when WWE fired the first shot. I don't know. Have any of you guys not watched Being the Elite over the years? Have we forgotten about that? Just saying. But at the same time, look, man, Tony has said some shit, right? He referred to Nick Khan as the con man from Connecticut, right? He referred to Triple H and Shawn Michaels as bald assholes. So again, he has said some shit, and it's come back to bite him in the ass. I said this before. Had Tony never said any of the stuff that he said, I guarantee you right now, Nick Khan would allow Tony to do his pay-per-views in peace. But also is factor in, there's a reason why, though, as well. There's another reason why WWE feels this way towards AEW, especially Tony Khan. See, at one point, WWE used to be at one point, WWE was that company. They were the company. And they were dictating how much a wrestler would make. You guys remember a while back when Swerve Strickland resigned with AEW? And there was discussion that people within WWE that felt that, oh, Tony Khan overpaid for Swerve Strickland, man. Let me just say this. I was happy that Swerve got paid. Happy. Because I do think, yes, wrestlers deserve to get paid. They do. They deserve to get fucking paid. I don't give a fuck what you, to me, that's my take. Wrestlers deserve to get paid. 100%. They're worth what they're worth, right? So the fact that you have a promoter, in this case Tony Khan, doing that, paying the wrestlers what they're worth, is awesome. It's great. But what happens is now, so let's say if you're someone in WWE, let's say you're, I don't know, let's say you're a Seth Rollins, right? And when your deal is up in WWE, you're going to try to renegotiate. You're like, hey, look, they're giving Swerve this much money in AEW. I want what he's making, or if not more. That's what's going to cause now within the market. And at one point, again, WWE used to be that company that would dictate how much you would make. So that's why WWE has it for Tony Khan and AEW. But look, I'll be happy for them. They get a TV deal, good for them. We'll see where they land. There's even been talks of them going to Peacock. We'll see how that goes for TNA. Okay, at the end of the day, look, if you're TNA, man, look, you also have talent whose contracts are up as well. Chances are they're going to get picked up by WWE, or if not, they will go to AEW. I did hear Tony is considering signing some of these talents when their deals are up. Remember Battle of the Belts? Yes, I do. I agree. The wrestlers put their bodies on the line to entertain us. They should get paid 100%. Chief writes here, TNA should stay on Thursdays. AEW shouldn't be their worry. I agree. Honestly, if I were them, I'd move to Thursdays. But we don't know what's going to be. We don't know what the schedule is going to be like. Should they land a new network? We don't know. It's going to be up to them. But we'll see what happens. But I feel bad for TNA in this. I feel bad. Because right now they're being put to battle by WWE when there's no need for it. There's no fucking need for it. Before I put a bow on this, I do want to do a couple of things here. Yes, I did hear that Inosuke Takeshita did win the G1 over the weekend, defeated Evil. I did not get to watch the match live. I didn't watch it yet. I will try to make sure to watch it in the next couple of days. Try to rewatch that. But I did hear that he won, so good for him. I know a lot of people, a lot of the diehard New Japan fans, are not happy that a part-timer won it. And they go back to what we were saying earlier. New Japan, they're lacking star power. So the fact that you have someone in Kinosuke Takeshita who's on a roll, right? He has 3 contracts. He has a contract not just with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but also with AEW, and I think also with DDT. Right? So he's bouncing around promotions. And he's killing it for the most part. I do look forward to seeing him at the Tokyo Dome, even though I think he did say he wants to go in the Tokyo Dome as the champion. So we'll see. If I remember, Zack Sabre Jr. did sort of the similar thing last year, right? Didn't he cash in before Tokyo Dome and stuff like that? So that's a possibility, right? What I also want to see is Okada face Kinosuke for that unified title. That will hit, but we'll see how that goes. Also, real quick before I put a bow on this, over the weekend as well with UFC 319, and of course, Khamzat Chimaev dominated Drake and Duplessis to become the new UFC middleweight champion. Look, I know a lot of people, myself included, were like, yo, do not sleep on DDP. If there was someone who we all probably thought had a chance in defeating Khamzat Chimaev, had the fight gone to the later rounds, would have been Drake and Duplessis. And Khamzat Chimaev just dominated. DDP didn't have a chance to breathe. A complete 25-minute ass whooping. I feel bad. I feel bad. Whoever has to face Khamzat Chimaev, bro. It's Jover. He's gonna hold that belt for a long time. I'm telling you that right now. It's crazy. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back live tomorrow for the Raw Rundown. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it through all your social media platforms. I'll be back live tomorrow for the Raw Rundown. All right. But real quick, again, just to let you guys know, the preview for Forbidden Door will be on Wednesday, right after SAD. And thank you once again, Team Couponer. Yes, thank you guys. The channel just surpassed 2,300 subscribers. Want to thank all of you. As always, you guys are awesome. Let's get it to 2,500 before the year ends. That's the goal. 2,500 before the year ends. So let's get that happening. Who knows? Maybe again before the year ends. So let's hope to get it. Okay. But yeah, guys, again, tomorrow Raw Rundown. Wednesday, you're gonna get SAD and also a preview for Forbidden Door. And then yeah, we're off to the races. I'll be in Europe on Friday. I will be back here Wednesday, but I'm gonna be just knocked the fuck out. Likely the Thursday that I come back, we'll preview Clash in Paris. All right. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. Much love. Follow me. You guys know where. On Twitter, @HeelSteven. Follow the Around the Point Network, @AT Point Network. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. For myself and for the gang, this has been Steve's Kitchen here on the Around the Point Network. Good night, everybody.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.